Hello, I'm Connor Stegman, and for my artist research presentation, I picked Auguste Rodin, who lived from 1840 to 1917. Auguste Rodin was known as the father of modern sculptures. He mainly practiced symbolism, realism, and impressionism. So, symbolism was depicting imagery and showing the reasoning behind his drawings and sculptures. Realism is trying to bring more realistic aspects of the world into the painting. And Impressionism was characterized by thin, loose lines, more bring light and actions to the painting rather than fine detail. And Rodin is most famously known for his piece called The Thinker. So for his first drawing, it's titled The Abandon. It was drawn from 1898 1907 with graphite, measured 7 9/16 by 11 7/8 inches. For this piece, he used mainly symbolism, drawing like the abandoned look, or try to get the abandoned theme going on for the picture. He used mainly detached and loose squiggly lines around his painting. I think it has to do with the symbolizing the abandonment issues, where he just feels lost and attached and without pure definition. One thing I did like about this piece a lot was the fade from the more detailed upper body to the faded lower half. I think it did a good job of depicting the abandoned feel to it. One thing I'm not a fan of was the chin on her because it makes it look really two dimensional. I think the shading was off and it looks really two dimensional, just like a line on it. It could have done a better job showing depth. This next piece is called The Golden Age from 1871. He used black chalk heightened with white on faded blue paper, measured 18 7/16 by 12 inches. This was a realism drawing he did. One thing I like about it, he used a lot of overlapping lines with various shading. His lines had different weights to it to add to the depth. Um, One main key parts I liked about this drawing was one of them was the folds in the baby down here. I like this a lot because it showed the chunkiness and the fat of the baby is kind of overlap and give a more realistic feel to it. Another one I liked was the shading on the guy on the overlapping lines, so you can tell the shading was different and it matched the man. You can just easily tell his arm is coming from this guy. It's not two dimensional. It looks realistic. The imaginary lines from here to here, you can just kind of see them from the drawing. And also, one more thing I found really interesting was the details on the cloth from the man and woman. You can see like the darker edged lines with the shading to provide more depth and texture to the painting or the drawing. My bad. Next piece I'm looking at is called Reclining Female Nude, Arms Folded Over Your Head from 1910. It's graphite on wolf paper and it measured 303 by 199 millimeters. So this one is my least favorite piece out of the four pieces. It's more realistic, I would say, than the other types of drawings. He used mainly just a lot of overlapping, messy outlines for his whole portrait. There's obviously a quick kind of gesture drawing of the woman. I don't like it because it's mainly 2D. It seems like a really two-dimensional drawing without depth or curve or anything depicting a real woman. One thing I noticed is that for the features, you could tell like the toes, there's no definition. The face, there's no definition. Arms, there's barely any, but there's more attention to detail for the breasts and buttocks of the women. Not a fan of that. I think he could have had a much better picture drawing if he had detail to the whole woman. This last piece is titled Seated Female Nude Looking Forward from 1908. It was graphite on folded paper. The overall is 31.2 by 20 centimeters. Um, this one is very similar to the last piece you see, kind of more realistic than impressionist or symbolist. This one, what I did like about it more is it's more defining features around the body. While it's not super defined or have a lot of texture or depth to it, it's still more defined than the last piece. He used a lot of overlapping lines and shaded scribbles all over his body. What I like most about this piece is the small, subtle hints of details you can see in a person. These are characterized in the nose right here. You can see the shading in the face, just a lot of random scribbles. You can see a definite outline of a nose. The little creases you have in your elbow, you can see he reaches there. Also, it's the belly button. So while most of the other features are lost in the shading and the scribble lines, those things still poke out, and you can just tell those defining features.